welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then welcome. My name's Georgia, and if you are not new here, then thank you so much for returning. I know I have been very absent recently in the last year on my YouTube channel, so today I'm hoping to clear a few things up and explain as to why that one is, and then hopefully get back into making my videos that I so much enjoy doing. So the reason for this video is just so that I can grow and get on with my passion, which I do enjoy making the videos, so that's why I joined YouTube in the first place. But I feel that without telling this part of my story, I can't sort of grow and move forward. So that's why I'm making this video. So I think I'm going to start at the beginning, which was Tonny's accident. So many of you that know me have given me well wishes and sent your love and kept up to date with how he's getting on. For those of you that don't know me or aren't that close to me, last year, it was actually this time last year, Tonny got hit off of his motorcycle by a driver that wasn't paying attention on the road. It was a high speed, sort of high impact hit for him, and he nearly lost his life. He was in intensive care for 4 weeks. It was a very, very difficult time for all of the family. To try and go into all of his injuries is so hard. The main one was we nearly lost him on the side of the road, and that was due to his vein here had torn and there was no blood flow going into his arm. So the first thing they thought they were going to have to do was amputate his arm in order for obviously him to survive. We luckily had an amazing surgeon that was on call in up at Southmead, and I don't think without that specialist on call we would have seen him still with his arm today. So first of all, she had to take a vein out of his leg and pop into his arm to ensure that he had blood flow going to his arm. The next thing they had to do was take nerves out of both of the back of his legs to pop into his arm to try and replace some of the nerves that were damaged. I say some of the nerves, unfortunately all of his nerves in his arm were damaged, so it means he can't move his arm, he's got no feeling in his arm, so he's been working really hard with physio for that. So the main concern at that point was his arm. With regards to other injuries he cracked his skull, so he had a fractured skull, broke his neck, obviously all of his arm injuries, so he's broken all of his bones in his arm as well, so he's been plated in his arm. He broke his ribs, bruised lungs, his spleen was fractured into 4 places, going down. So he broke his wrist on his other side, both of his knees were broken, he's lost ligaments, torn ligaments and tendons through his knees and his ankles. One of his ankles was broken, and then both ankles have got ligament damage and torn ligaments and tendon damage as well. So with all of that going on, he had a lot to take in. It took him 4 weeks for him to get himself up and out of bed, and we had to work really hard with his physio for him to do that, and he was very, very strong, because most people wouldn't walk on a broken leg before 6 weeks, but because he had to get out of bed, so his breathing was better and he was up and moving, because he was losing a lot of muscle tone in that point. I'm not going to go into his recovery too much because that's personal to him. It was a very difficult time, like I said, for all of the family, and we had a lot of support during that time, and you really sort of find out who your friends are when things like that happen to you. So that was Tonny's accident. like I said, he does physio, well he was before this whole pandemic happened, 4 times a week to try and get some feeling back into his arm and movement, and there's still operations more to come as well. So before his accident we were due to get married, so 2 weeks before our wedding he had his accident. So obviously that was completely cancelled. You can't, it's really weird timing because you can't do the whole what if, because you just drive yourself completely insane. And at the point when it happened, all anyone cared about was him still being here. We were lucky enough to still have him here. Like I said, he's got loads more operations coming up as well. And then he started to feel a little bit better. So at the start of this year in January, he got told that he was due some more operations around March, April, May time. So we booked a quick wedding for March the 21st. Again, a lot of you will know that I was due to have my second wedding. I was really excited. He was well enough to have the wedding and be there with all our friends and family, and it was going to be very special for us to obviously have this day that we thought we'd never get. But 18 hours before the wedding, so we were all down there, the wedding was set up, ready to go. Unfortunately, Boris had to make the call to close all pubs and venues. So although our wedding was going to be very small and intimate this time, due to obviously what happened last time, we only wanted a small wedding this time because the first wedding we had planned was going to be really big. And a lot of people dropped out because of the whole corona pandemic, which was completely understandable. It was upsetting because I thought the people that I really wanted there and the people that had supported me weren't gonna come, and it was really hard to take. But I think the hardest thing was on that Friday, knowing my wedding venue was set up, was having to cancel it again. So I haven't had my wedding, so a lot of people have asked me, or they've been looking on my Instagram if I've got another ring on my finger, or do I know, have I rearranged it? So I've had a lot of questions come at me, and it's probably not a good thing, but I feel a little bit better knowing I've had this time to just be by myself in my home and just digest all of it again before having to go back into work or back out with friends and them all asking me how come, have you had to rearrange, have you had to cancel? So we haven't rearranged it. It was 18 hours before it got cancelled. So again, this is the second wedding I've lost all of my money on, but this time I wasn't paying for it. So that's another awful thing, is like my family had all paid for this wedding, that because I lost all my money on my last wedding. So I think that was the most upsetting thing, is it wasn't my money to play around with this time. It was somebody else's. To know that we had lost it for them, it was completely out of our control. But to know we'd lost it all again, we haven't rearranged it because, like I said, Tonny is due more operations. They've now been delayed, so until he is up and fit and ready, we cannot book anything else until he has had those operations. They're very important and we need to be there for him, so when he's had these operations, it's more than likely he's not going to be able to get up and walk, or just do general things that people don't think about that is really easy and we take for granted. So the next set of operations, I think we're not 100% sure. The specialist hasn't contacted him further because we've been waiting to hear back from them. But we're pretty sure he's going to have more nerves taken out of his other arm, put into his arm, possibly his legs, and then fuse his wrist for him. So he's probably going to be out both arms for a little while. So which I'm just really hoping that it's during this time, because it was an emergency operation. It was put down as emergency operation because if it's not done, like nerves have so long to grow, and I think he's been told 18 months, so we're a year in now, so he's got 6 months left of how they regenerate and how they reattach onto other nerves. So if it's not done within that time, it's not really any point in doing it, and he won't get any function back into his arm. So we're really hoping that we can sort this all out as quickly as possible. Again, with everything that's going on in the world, I know everyone's got their own thing to deal with, and you've just got to try and stay positive. It's a really strange time at the moment, and we are just taking advantage of being able to have that time together. Tonny's been at home for a year now. All he's been able to do is either go to the hospital or sit and wait for me to come home. So to have the time together, we are really trying to just enjoy our time. I'm enjoying the time with the dog, being home as well, and just get myself all organised. And I just thought that's why it's the best opportunity to come back on my YouTube and get my head stuck into something, just as I can't be in the salon at present moment, which I'm really missing because I absolutely loved my job. Well, I love my job. So it is really strange to wake up in the morning and know that I'm not going in to make someone's day or cheer someone up or give them a nice treatment to make them feel good. So it's just so strange. So I think by coming on and doing my videos again, of organisation videos, my beauty videos, makeup videos, how-to videos, it'll just keep my head sane whilst I am stuck in, because we are self-isolating as well due to Tonny's spleen. Like I said, it was shattered into 4 pieces last year during his accident. So my brother's having to go out and do my food shop for me. I can't see my mum. You know, like a lot of people, they can't see their families. It is very difficult. So this is why I want to come back on and do my videos. Hopefully that has answered any questions for people that know me about my wedding, or maybe even if you wanted to know a bit more about Tonny's operations or his injuries. I'm always happy to talk about them if people ask me. Sometimes I'm a little bit reserved because it is Tonny's personal life. I mean, obviously we're sharing it together and we're both going through it because I'm very supportive towards him, obviously, but it is his personal life. So I don't want to go into too many details with that. If you were new here today, thank you so much for sticking around and listen to me whine on. I know it's a bit of a down video for you to may have started on, but thank you so much for finishing it through and watching it to the end. I hope you guys all are staying safe and well in your homes, and we hope to see you very, very soon. Take care.